So just start by sitting up on your block and bringing all of your mental attention into this moment, and the next breath, this moment, and the next breath, this moment. Again and again, just focusing your mind. We're going to use our body to help. So focus on how does your, excuse me, hips, how do your hips feel sitting on your block? How does your breath feel coming through your nose? How does your body feel in kind of a general overview? Taking a moment to quietly check in with yourself. Listen to the sounds around you, in your room and around your home. Listening for the birds or the laundry or whatever it is that's going on around you. Listening to it from the perspective of being this very still person at the center, paying attention from the perspective of pure awareness. And from there, using that same awareness, we're going to move into moving our body. Really paying attention to what these movements do and what they create in your body and your mind. Setting an intention to nourish through movement, constantly paying attention to how it feels. Coming into your body with your inhale and relaxing as you exhale. Lengthening through your spine as you inhale. And rolling your shoulders backwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then squeezing your neck with your shoulders for 3, 2, 1. And then pushing your shoulder blades back and down for 3, 2, 1. Squeezing your shoulders up for 3, 2, 1. Pushing them back and down. 3, 2, 1. Relax your shoulders. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Rotate your chin down to your right shoulder. Rotate your chin back to center and lift your head up. Take your left ear to your left shoulder. Rotate your chin down to your left shoulder. Back to center and back up. Right ear to your right shoulder. Rotate your left shoulder backwards for 3, 2, 1. Rotate your chin to face your right shoulder. Left shoulder rolls backwards for 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Right ear to your right shoulder. And left ear to your left shoulder. Right shoulder backwards for 3, 2, 1. Rotate your chin to look at your left shoulder. Right shoulder backwards. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Turn your head to the right. Tuck in your chin. Lift your chin and come back to center. Turn your head to the left. tuck in your chin, lift your chin, and come back to center. Imagine there's a marker at the top of your head. Lift your sternum and 5 circles on the ceiling for 5, 4, really slow, 3, 2, and 1. Other way, relax your hip flexors, engage your belly, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Let's turn your head to the right. Twist your ribs to the right. Turn your head to the left. And bring your ribs back to center. Turn your head to the left. Twist your ribs to the left. Turn your head to the right. And come back to center. Open your left arm out to the left with your palm facing up. And roll that shoulder backwards for 3, 2, 1. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Roll your left shoulder backwards for 3, 2, 1. Hold your head and arm where they are. Take your right hand to your left ear. Lengthen through the back of your neck, tucking in your chin just slightly. Pushing back into your shoulders and your neck. Roll that left shoulder blade back and down. Imagine your thumb is heavy, pulling that thumb back and down. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then release your head, release your arms back to your side. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the left. Come back to center, tuck in your chin. And then lift your chin to the ceiling. And then tuck in your chin. And lift your chin to the ceiling. One more time, tuck in your chin. Lift your chin to the ceiling. Come back to center. Right arm out to the right. Shoulder rolling backwards for 3, 2, 1. Take your left ear to your left shoulder. Right shoulder rolls backwards for 3, 2, 1. Keep pushing that shoulder down. Take your left hand to your right ear. Push back into the back of your neck. Slightly tucking in your chin. Rotate your right shoulder blade back and down. Imagine that right thumb is heavy, dropping it back and down. Engage your belly and relax your hip flexors. Big breath in through your nose. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then release, come back to center. Relax your arms at your side. Turn your head to the left. Turn your head to the right. Come back to center. Tuck in your chin. Lift your chin. Tuck in your chin. And lift your chin. One more time, tuck in your chin. And lift your chin. Come back to center, lift your sternum up tall, collarbones really wide. Imagine you have a marker on your chin, little circles, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the left. Come back to center. Hold on to your knees, round your back. Tuck in your chin, tuck in your tailbone. Push back into your mid-spine. And then push your belly forward, arch your tailbone back, lift your sternum to the ceiling, open your throat. Exhale, round your back, tuck in your tailbone, tuck in your chin. And then lift your belly, arch your tailbone back, lift your sternum and open your throat. Last time, exhale, round your back as much as you can. And then arch your back as much as you can. And come back to center, relax your arms at your side, and we're moving our ribs to your left, and then moving your ribs to your right. Moving your ribs to the left, just kind of waking up the psoas, and moving your ribs to the right. So now we're going to try to engage the trapezius and the psoas. So we're going to push out to your left, and then round your back, and lift your left shoulder. And then come back to center, relaxing that left shoulder. Take your ribs to the right, round your back and lift your right shoulder. Drop the shoulder and come back to center. Push your ribs out to your left, lift your left shoulder, round your back again. And then lift your sternum, come back to center. Push your ribs out to the right, lift your right shoulder, round your back, lean into your psoas. Lean into your trapezius that goes from the bottom of your rib cage up through your shoulder blade into the top of your shoulder, and then come back to center. Reaching both arms up to the ceiling, reaching from side to side. So from the very tops of your shoulders, across the tops of your shoulders, down your back along your spine, between your shoulder blades to the bottom of your rib cage is a powerful long muscle. Stretch it with your arms. Maybe even think about rounding your back and stretching it, leaning into that whole thoracic area between your shoulder blades. Good, and then come back to center and relax your arms. We're going to bend our elbows. We're going into the same muscle group. We're going to reach our left elbow forward, right elbow back, and we're going to lift and exchange sides. Really slowly, we're twisting and stretching both sides of the trapezius in opposite directions, getting lots of range of motion with our shoulder blades and your rotator cuff. Good. And back to center. This time we're going to take our left elbow back, right elbow forward, and again, exchange. Exchange. Twisting as much as you can. And relax. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take your right ear to your right shoulder, and then your left ear to your left shoulder. Come back to center, turn your head to the right, and turn your head to the left. Come back to center, tuck in your chin, and lift your chin. Tuck in your chin, and lift your chin. Come back to center, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Gentle twist to your right. Gentle twist to your left. Gentle twist to your right. Gentle twist to your left. Come back to center, opening through your side body. Reaching back and coming back to center, over to the other side, reaching your arm back and coming back to center, over, back, center, over, back, center, and one more time, over, back, center, and last on this side, over, back, and center. Let's get off our block. Sitting on your bottom with your feet as wide as your mat, we're gonna get our blue ball. So you're gonna take your blue ball under your left glute. Your knees are gonna be bent, and then we're dropping our left knee out to the left. So you're in the center of your left glute muscle on the left side, and your left knee is dropped out to the left. And then you're kind of rolling along that semicircle along the bottom of the sits bone up into the glute and then back down again. Ending somewhere around where your outer hamstring, you might imagine where your outer hamstring might connect. And then back around to the center of the glute and out to the outer edge of the hip joint. And then back to the center of the glute and lean forward, getting deeper into that outer part of your leg, back into the glute, all the way up to the top of the glute, and then roll onto the outside of the hip. And then back into the center of the glute, lean forward, getting further into the IT band, outer hamstring, back into the glute, all the way up, lean out and back and forward. Last time. Back, out, forward, and let's move on to the other side. So you're going to take your ball onto your right side, drop your right knee out to the right, and go up and down a couple of times, and up and down, up and down. And then we're going to do that semicircle going a little deeper into the bottom, and then up a little higher, into maybe where your hamstring might be, and then back up and around and a little bit out into the outer back. Lean forward, getting into the outer hamstring, maybe a little IT band, up, outer glute, into the center glute, lean forward, down the leg a little bit, back, in a little outer hip, center glute, lean forward into the IT band, back, up, around into the center glute, into the outer hip, good, and then back, lean forward, get into that outer IT bend, and last time, outer hip, and then lean forward, and then we're going to take that ball away from us and lie on your back. You just start with 10 bridges with your knees 6 inches apart, ankles under your knees, hands beside your feet, and nice and easy. Just slowly lifting and dropping. Lifting and dropping. And squeezing your butt at the top. Little squeeze at the top and slowly release. Shoulders nice and wide, little squeeze at the top and slowly release. 3 more. 1, 2. We're going to hold it up here, lifting your hips as high as you can, pushing your entire 2 feet into the floor. We're going to squeeze our butt up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Grab your ball. Take your ball into the right glute and drop your right knee out to the right. And then just roll along that ball from the outer edge of your hip to the center of your glute. To the outer edge of your hip, center of your glute. Outer hip, good. And up and down maybe a couple of times if that would feel good. And then onto the other hip. Take the ball to your left hip, drop the left knee out, and just roll around in the muscle. Feel wherever it feels tight, and where it feels tight, really push that ball into that spot. Good. One more little push, and then we're going to remove that ball, excuse me. Knees 6 inches apart, hands on the floor, shoulders open, and lift again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your hips up high and extend your right leg up to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Take your left ankle onto your right knee, drop your hips and hug your right thigh into your chest. Big breath in and big breath out. Good, take both feet to the floor. Lift your hips as high as you possibly can. Extend your left leg up to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your left foot down, right ankle on your left knee, and hug your left thigh into your chest. Good. Bringing your knees together. Feet together. Squeeze your knees together. Push your lower back down and lift your tailbone, pulling in your pelvic floor for 10, 9, 8. Squeeze your knees together. 6, 5, 4. Squeeze as hard as you can. 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees open with the bottoms of your feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana, bottoms of your palms facing the ceiling. Close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Then bring your knees together. We're going to grab onto your blue ball or a roller, whatever you've got. You're going to roll onto your right side. Take your left knee onto, so like a hand's width up from your knee. You're going to place that blue ball and you're going to roll the inside of your leg. And if you roll onto your stomach, it makes it more intense. And as you roll across the inner knee, inner thigh, lift the foot up so you go into the top part of the quad, and then drop the foot down as you go into the inner thigh. So you're lifting and twisting through that foot. Getting deep into the quad inner thigh. Now take it up maybe like 3 inches and then go up and down the inside of your inner thigh. Very sensitive, no fun. And then a little higher. And then a little bit higher. And then the last one, as high as you can get, rolling all the way onto your stomach and trying to open your leg and get into that upper groin, inner thigh area as much as you can. Okay, that was nasty. Let's go on to the other side. Good. about a hand's width up from your right knee. Take that ball to the inside, a tender spot that a hard ball just really shouldn't have to touch, but unfortunately it gets really tight. So remember, we're lifting the foot as we roll up and dropping the foot as we roll down. And then take it up about a couple of inches. Oh yeah. Woo. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's take it up a little higher, just because it's so much fun. Feels so good. Cool. A little bit higher. And then, unfortunately, a little higher. Good breathing. Okay, let's take it a little higher. Oh. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get rid of that ball. Roll back onto your back. And you're gonna start on your right side. You're gonna bend your right elbow and place your head on your arm. And you want your knee and hip parallel, and then you want your ankles and your hip parallel. And then you're gonna keep your feet on top of each other and lift your left knee as high as you can take it. And then 3, 2, 1, drop down. Lift it up as high as you can take it. And 3, 2, 1, drop it down. And lift. 3, 2, 1, lift. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 3, 2, 1, 7, 3, 2, 1, 8, 3, 2, 1, 9, 3, 2, 1, 10. Hold it up. Push your feet in together and pulse back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knee. Take that knee parallel with your right ankle. Flex your left foot and kick it back for 10, 9, 8. Use your glute muscle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse it back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that left foot to the top of your right knee, planting it on the floor, and then twist to look back over your left shoulder. Keep pushing that left foot into the floor so that the knee opens away from the floor. Maybe even think about arching your tailbone back. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then roll back onto your back and hug both knees into your chest. Roll onto your left side. Pull your knees in towards parallel with your hips, ankles parallel with your hips, pulling them back, lifting your right knee up. 1, dropping down. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 3, 2, 1, 7, 3, 2, 1, 8, 3, 2, 1, 9, 3, 2, 1, 10. Hold it up, pulse 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right knee drops and pulls back parallel with the left ankle, pushing back 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that right foot to the top of your left knee onto the floor, and then twist your shoulders to look back over your right shoulder, arching your tailbone back. Big breath in, big breath out. One more deep breath. And then roll onto your back. Plant both feet on the floor as wide as your hips, knees parallel to your hips. Lift up for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Take your right ankle onto your left knee and hug your left thigh into your chest. Keep your right ankle on your left knee. Keep your legs close to your body and rotate them to the floor on your left, moving into your piriformis. Push that right knee down, look back over your right shoulder, and arch your tailbone back. Big breath in and big breath out. Roll onto your back. Left ankle onto your right knee, hug your right thigh into your chest. Big breath in through your nose. Exhale, relax your shoulders, lengthen through your neck. Keep your legs in close to your body and take your legs to the right, planting your left foot on the floor and look back over your left shoulder. Arch your tailbone back. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then roll onto your back. Bring your knees together, plant your feet on the floor, push your lower back down as hard as you can, lift your tailbone and squeeze your knees together for 10, 9, 8, 7. Pulling your pelvic floor, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Drop both knees to your right, roll onto your right side, and lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that knee back parallel with your ankle and kick it back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll onto your back, lift your hips and hold them up. And extend your right leg up to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down, hips as high as possible, left leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down, lift your hips as high as you possibly can, squeezing your glute muscles as much as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your hips, roll onto your left side for 10 clamshells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take your right knee back, parallel with your hip and your left ankle, and then kick it back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll onto your back and extend both legs up towards the ceiling. Palms face down beside your hips. Ankles, knees, and hips all parallel. Just rotating through the ankles, moving your feet, moving your toes, rotating, and then the other way. Just feeling everything that's going on in your toes. Don't think about anything else. And then opening your ankles about 2 feet apart, pointing your toes, and do teeny tiny circles inward for 10. Think about your inner thighs. Think about your groin muscles, your pelvic muscles, your inner stomach muscles are all making this motion happen. So we've been working on the outer hip muscles, the glute muscles. Now we want to think about using the inner hip muscles. So that's that internal rotation. Hip flexors, inner thighs, and then rotating outward. Still using those internal muscles. Think about those muscles as you do this, engaging them to whatever degree you can. And then hug both knees into your chest, pulling your knees wide and towards your shoulders. And then come back to a neutral position with your spine. Take your hands to the insides of your knees and gently push your knees open. Just getting a gentle stretch. Deep breath in and deep breath out. So we're going to keep this gentle pressure on our inner thighs or inner knees, pushing your knees open. And then you're going to inhale, arch your back, drop your tailbone. And exhale, push your lower back down and lift your tailbone. Drop your tailbone, inhale, arch your back. And exhale, push your lower back down and slightly lift your tailbone. Tailbone down, inhale, arch your back. Exhale, push your lower back down and slightly lift your tailbone. One more time, pushing your knees open, inhale, arch your back. And exhale, push your lower back down and slightly lift your tailbone. Release, come back to center with your legs, palms face down, legs back up. We're going to open and close our legs 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Open your legs as wide as you possibly can. Push your lower back into the floor. Point your toes in little circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Outward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your legs together. Bring the bottoms of your feet together with your knees dropping open, palms face up, close your eyes. Supta Baddha Konasana. Just relax your body. Notice your breathing. And then slowly bring your knees back together. Let's grab our ball and roll onto the outside of your right hip, taking that ball right into the outer hip muscle. So you're up on your right elbow and your ball is right in the nook of your hip joint, right on the muscle, not the bone. And you're just gonna go up and down in that sort of maybe 2-inch little space, sensitive spot. Lots of tension can happen in there. Good, so let's roll forward just a little bit, getting into the top part of that hip. And then let's slowly rock back, slowly moving into more of the back of the hip. Way up and down, slowly just getting into the outer hip again. And then back into the inner hip, going up and down. And last time, into the medius, into the outer hip. And then back into the center of the hip. And then we're going to sit up. We're going to keep our right foot dropped out to the right. We're going to take that ball through the outer hamstring and then onto the IT band. So we're just going to bypass the hip, the bottom of the hip joint, and go into that outer quad, outer IT band, outer hamstring. Not that there's an inner IT band, but okay, that's enough of that. Let's go on to the other side. Taking the ball into the hip joint. So going on to your left side. And just kind of getting into that little nook, that little space of muscle in the joint itself. Just kind of going back and forth or up and down or whatever you feel like is a good thing for your body. Just finding those tight spots and rolling into them. And then rolling forward a little bit, getting into the front part of the hip joint. And then rolling back and getting into the top part of the medius muscle that goes along the top of the pelvis. Don't roll the SI joint, which I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to tell what that is. That's that little bony part at the top of the pelvis, kind of like our little button on our pelvis. And then let's go from the back to the front, just kind of rolling across the top part of the muscle into the hip and then the outer hip. And then let's go into the glute, the central glute muscle, and sit up, leaning forward, getting into the outer hamstring, going past the hip joint and then rolling on to the outer leg, going into the IT band, rolling through the IT band, the outer quad, and the hamstring, breathing. Good, and then let's come back onto our mat. We're going to open your legs as wide as you possibly can, coming into a straddle position. And then think about tilting your tailbone back and hinging your chest forward. Keeping your legs relaxed to begin with. Just slowly focusing on hinging, releasing any tension you feel through your inner thighs, groin muscles. Big breath in, big breath out. And then we're going to slowly sit up. We're going to take our right foot to the outside of your left thigh, sitting up tall, and then twisting, looking over your right shoulder. Big breath in. And then come back to center, taking your left hand to the outside of your right foot, sitting up tall. Take your right leg out to the left. And then root down into that right sits bone, lift your sternum, square your shoulders over your hips, and notice all the sensations that go down the outside of that right leg, breathing deeply, not running from it, breathing into it. And then let's take our right hand to the inside of your right foot, and to whatever degree you can, open your right leg out to the right, shoulder blades down your back. Sitting up into the sits bones, rising up through the sternum, breathing through your nose, big breath. And then let's take that right leg straight down your mat, sitting up really tall, hinging at your hips, lengthening through the back of your neck, and slowly hinging forward into your forward fold. And then sit up. Let's take your left foot to the outside of your right leg. Hug that left knee with your right hand, left arm behind your back to sit up tall, and exhale, twist. And then come back to center, taking your right hand to the outside of your left foot, sitting up tall. Take your left leg to the right. Square your shoulders over your hips, sitting up as tall as you can. Notice the sensations. Don't run from them. Breathe into it. See if you can try to release some of that tension. Going a little bit deeper, not by pushing, but by letting go, by releasing and relaxing. And then take your left hand to the inside of your left foot and open your left leg out to the left. Sitting up really tall again. And then slowly come back to center and back into your forward folds. Sitting up really tall and hinging forward. One more big breath. And slowly sit up, curl back down onto your back. Hug your right knee into your chest. And take your right knee across your body to the left, moving into a spinal twist. Turning your head to look over your right shoulder. And then we're going to straighten that top right leg. You could take a strap to the bottom of your foot, or you could grab onto the bottom of your right foot with your left hand. And then you could either stay here, or you could bend your left knee, grabbing onto your left foot with your right hand. And then you're in your double bind, holding on to your right foot with your left hand, your left foot with your right hand, and then play with tucking your tail under, pushing your hips forward, and twisting your head to look over your right shoulder. And then release, roll onto your back, and hug both knees into your chest. And then grab onto either the bottoms of your knees, lifting your heels, or grab onto your feet, coming into happy baby pose. Release your right leg to the floor, hugging your left knee into your chest. And take your left knee across your body to the right, moving into a spinal twist, turning your head to look over your left shoulder. And then grab onto your left foot, placing a strap, or grab onto your left foot with your right hand, moving into stretching out your IT bands. Then if you want to add on, grab onto your right foot with your left hand. And then slowly release, roll onto your back and hug both knees into your chest. And then slowly extend both legs down your mat, placing your palms face up beside your body. Tuck your shoulders under. Close your eyes. Take a deep, deep breath in. And as you exhale, completely relax your body. And don't just let your mind wander off into all kinds of thinking. Keep focusing your attention on this present moment. Every single breath, the entire length of the inhale and the entire length of the exhale. Feeling that breath moving into your body. Feeling that breath float out of your body. Flowing with that breath. Two more breaths. And bend your knees. Roll onto your right side. Pause. And then whenever you're ready, sit up to whatever position feels comfortable for you. Close your eyes. Seal your practice with a moment of stillness. Observing with your eyes closed. Being the awareness that doesn't need eyes to see. The awareness that is seeing everything. Observing your breath coming. Each breath a blessing. Thank yourself for being all of what you are. Thank yourself for taking time to pay attention. Stay. Thank you. Have a great day today. Lots of love. Bye.